Lots of you would have heard about the ancient mummies in Egypt. Even if you haven't studied them yet, you would have seen them in pictures or watched them come to life in movies. But are the mummies in Egypt the only mummies in the world? And how old are they? Catherine's been investigating the land of the dead.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you believe?
Yeah.
Egyptian mummies are famous. We all know about them and tourists come from everywhere to see them. But they're not the oldest mummies in the world. There are mummies that were made thousands of years before Egyptian civilization began. And they're not even from the same continent. They're in South America, in the Atacama Desert. It's one of the driest places on Earth and stretches hundreds of kilometres along the north coast of Chile and into Peru. There are collections of mummies here that were buried more than 8,000 years ago. The oldest Egyptian mummies are about 5,000 years old. This was once home to the Chinchorro people. They were hunter-gatherers, and people have been living here ever since because the lush valleys provide good land for people to farm. And the remains of the many cultures over the thousands of years can be found right in front of your eyes.
Here we have the remains of a house. So you see the retaining wall here for the veranda and the cane walling here. You can see that there's some posts and woven cane through here and the four walls acting as a windbreak.
There's corn cobs, pottery, bones, lots of stuff you'd find in people's garbage, but to these Aussie archaeologists, they're ancient goodies.
Here we have a grindstone, the lower part of a grindstone, a mortero.
Some of the graves are filled with pottery and artefacts made of gold and silver, but modern-day grave robbers are a huge problem. So for Chris and his team, it's a race against time to try to catalogue and learn more about the ancient relics before they're lost to vandals and thieves. And there's lots of area to cover. This is the site of a 1,000-year-old grave.
We've got a tooth here. And Kate found the braided hair.
Hair extensions. Yeah. No, that's what it is. It's a hair extension for a mummy.
And this is a mummified hand.
It's quite a small hand. Yep, you can see that's the little finger and a fingernail there.
It's pretty amazing that lots of stuff in the Atacama Desert is so well preserved, and the reason is because the environment is so constant. It's really dry and there's no rain, so the bacteria that would normally break down stuff like flesh can't survive because it's not moist enough. And here are the mummies. It's pretty gross, but they took out their organs and flesh, put their skeletons back together, reinforced them with sticks, and stuffed them with plants and fur. Masks and wigs were sometimes attached to their heads. And they weren't all peaceful deaths. This guy has a harpoon right through the centre of his chest. There's still lots of important archaeological work to be done in the north of Chile. Chris has been here 10 years and still feels his work to understand these ancient cultures has only just begun.